Morning. It's Sunday, January 28th. And today I'm glad that I'm able to talk to you people via my computer. Because yesterday I had a disaster with it. I couldn't get online. I couldn't open it up because on the prior day I had my internet changed from cable to wireless. And for some reason, because of that, all sorts of weird messages were popping up, and I couldn't answer the questions properly. I called the internet provider, and I talked to them, but they said it's not their fault, it's the fault of Gmail. And then I went to look up a phone number for Gmail, but while I was looking for that, I was trying to fix a little problem that I was having with my computer. And luckily, I hit the right combination of buttons, and it seems like my computer got straightened out and I was able to get my rant out late, but it wasn't so bad. It was only about an hour late. And I did have one loyal follower email me and wonder what was happening, but I got him his email and I got everybody else who's entitled to an email. I got them all sent off and down, and then I looked for something to talk about today. And I found Donald Trump's law case. And I think it's interesting to talk about that, although I try to avoid talking about Donald Trump too much. But he's out there. He's out there and he's trying to become president again. And so we have to pay attention to the shit that he gets away with. But this time, he didn't get away with it. Trump was ordered to pay E. Jean Carroll $83 million for defamation. A jury determined that amount. That was the amount in damages for his defamatory statements about E. Jean Carroll, the magazine writer. And this is the first federal court verdict against Donald Trump so far. So we're waiting to see how many more verdicts come in as he campaigns for his return to the White House. He's got a stack of cases out there. But the 9-member jury awarded Ms. Carroll $65 million in punitive damages and an additional $18 million in compensatory damages after he was liable for sexual abuse and then smeared her sexual assault allegations as a lie. And that's what fueled many, many abusive messages and death threats against her. So Donald Trump himself wasn't the primary attacker of Miss Carroll. His actions caused his followers to jump into the game and threaten her life. Is that what we want? A man who attacks people and his followers rise up in his defense? That's not the kind of guy I want to see at the White House. Imagine if you have 75 or 80 million followers in your pockets, willing to do all kinds of weird things for you. That's not what the presidency is about. That's not the kind of man we want in the White House. Now, this trial went on for 2 weeks. I don't know if that's a long time for a civil trial or a short time for a civil trial. But the verdict was delivered very quickly. It only took the jury 3 hours of deliberation to decide that Trump owed the $83 million. And Mr. Trump's attorneys argued aggressively against Miss Carroll's case. And the former president repeatedly attacked and continued to defame her in press conferences and in dozens of posts on his Truth Social media platform. So he was attacking her constantly throughout the entire trial, and it did him no good because the 9 jurors recognized the evil that Mr. Trump is capable of. And the district judge barred Mr. Trump and his attorneys from disputing the facts of the case. Those facts were deemed to be true because last year Mr. Trump lost a jury trial when the jury found him liable for sexual abuse and defamation in a verdict that awarded Miss Carroll $5 million. So therefore the judge was within his grounds, within his rights to bar Trump from bringing up the facts of the case again because it was already a case that proved he was a guilty man. Trump doesn't listen because after the verdict was delivered, Trump got up and started repeating potentially defamatory statements against her. Is he looking to get sued again? Is he so mind-boggled that he can't sit still, can't accept what's going on around him, must always be in the middle of the fight, making an ass of himself? As the verdict was being read, Miss Carroll was holding the hands of her attorney, Sean Crowley. And when the damages were read aloud, Miss Carroll turned her head toward the jury and smiled. Maybe that's what upset Trump, that the woman was smiling because she kicked his ass in court. Now, knowing Mr. Trump and his temperament, I am sure that he could not sit still for that. He had to defend himself, even though that was the wrong thing to do. No self-control. Think about what could happen in the White House with a man who has that little control over his emotions. This country will be sitting on the edge of a razor blade constantly if that man is ever back in the White House. So this jury trial and his actions should be broadcast around the world, and especially around the United States, so the public, his public, can see what an asshole he is and how uncontrollable he is and how dangerous that is to our society. When you have somebody that can't control himself in the midst of a major event, going off without thinking, that is not what the kind of guy that I think should be president. You have to have a temperament to study the facts and make the right decisions and surround yourself with people who know what to do. But Trump's habits are not to surround himself with people who know what to do. He surrounds himself with people who are going to kowtow to him. And we saw that in his last actions as the president. All the people that surrounded him had to be ass kissers. So based upon this trial and this verdict, I say no to ex-President Trump running again. I leave you with that this morning. Have a great day. Bye.